This video is sponsored by Stoggles. More on that later.
What's up everybody, I'm Charlie with Modern Hobbyist. Today I'm going to be upgrading the lighting in my living room from this, oh, hold on. Okay. From this to this. Let's get started. So my wife and I just bought this house, and since we're still slowly moving things over from our old place, we wanted to take this time to do some much needed renovations. Mostly that just means painting everything, but I also wanted to upgrade the lighting in the living room. There is a nice big window in this room, but instead of ceiling lights, we have these super awesome switched outlets, which are possibly my least favorite thing on this planet. It seems like every time I encounter a switched outlet, it's in the perfect spot to put either a TV or my Wi-Fi router, so every time I flip the switch, I accidentally turn off my internet. On top of that, this outlet's not even wired correctly, so the top receptacle doesn't even work. Long story short, I hate switched outlets and these ones have got to go. So I'm going to replace them with recessed LED lights, which I think will really transform this room into a great space to entertain all of our friends. For this project, I'm going to be using Amico 6-inch LED wafer lights. I found these on Amazon and they had some really great reviews, plus they are dimmable and can have their color temperature changed to suit the room they're going in. These particular lights aren't smart and you have to manually change the color before you install them, which can be done using the slider on the side. I also decided to go with a Lutron Diva dimmer switch and one regular switch, since this is a 3-way switch setup. I also made sure to pick a dimmer switch that supports LEDs, so I don't have a buzzing noise coming from the LEDs. Other than that, I'm just using some standard 14-2 wire, some Wago lever nuts to wire everything together, and an adjustable hole saw to cut the holes out for the LEDs. For my living room, I decided that 6 lights would be the right number to eliminate any weird shadows without absolutely blinding us, so I got to work marking out where each hole should go. Once I had all the holes marked out, I whipped out my power tools and started recklessly cutting into stuff without any personal protective equipment. Nah, I'm just kidding. Before I started cutting, I made sure to grab my brand new pair of Stoggles. Stoggles is a visionary eyewear company leading a movement to reimagine how people care for their eyes. Over half of all eye injuries sustained in the United States happen at home, whether it's cleaning, housework, home improvement, or yard work. All of them could pose a risk to your eyeballs, which is why you need to make sure to always wear safety glasses. Now, I'm not talking about those abominations that you stole from your dad's workbench. No, Stoggles makes it easy by providing you with the protection you need that's also conveniently stylish, so you'll actually wear them. All Stoggles come with an anti-fog coating, blue light and UV light blocking lenses, ANSI Z87.1 certification, and side and top shields, all without making you look like a total dweeb. Plus, if you need corrective lenses, you can get them in your prescription so you can actually see how good you look while you're wearing them. My wife actually has a prescription pair and I have a regular pair, and we absolutely love them. So make sure to check the description for a link to Stoggles' website so you can protect your eyes without telling people you're protecting your eyes. Huge thanks to Stoggles for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. I'm not going to cover the electrical work in too much detail because every house is wired differently, but luckily I have access to both the attic and the basement, so I shouldn't have too much trouble figuring out what all is going on. Once I've figured out the existing wiring, then I'll make a plan for how to fix the outlets and wire in the new lights. Alright, so I've installed the dimmer switch and replaced the other one with paddle switches. And I installed new outlets and rewired them so that they're always hot. And the last thing I did was pre-run all the wires through the holes in the attic so that we're ready to install the lights. Now, these LEDs come with a junction box with several knockouts and a switch that allows you to change the color temperature. But the really nice thing is how easy they are to plug in and install. All I have to do is connect the light to the junction box, snap it into the hole in the ceiling using the spring clamps, and it's done. Now all that's left to do is finish up the rest of the lights and test it out. There you have it, folks. In a few short hours, I was able to upgrade my living room lights from some horrible switched outlets to these super convenient LED wafer lights. And I was even lucky enough to not have to replace any drywall. Now our living room can be properly lit for any situation, and the risk of me switching off the power to my TV or Wi-Fi router has been eliminated. In the future, if we decide we want to change the color of the lights, all we have to do is slip each light out of its hole, change the color, and snap the light back in. In the end, I'm super happy with how this project turned out. I think it totally transformed our living room, and it was well worth the effort. It only took me a few hours from start to finish, and I got to learn more about electrical wiring along the way. Plus, there's nothing quite as satisfying as seeing your handiwork in action. I'll have some links in the description to the products I used, as well as some information on electrical wiring in case you're interested in installing these lights for yourself. Also, I'll have a link to today's video sponsor, Stoggles, so make sure to check them out and maybe pick up a pair to protect your eyes for your next project. And as usual, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and tell your friends to subscribe as well. Otherwise, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.